All right. Well, when this guy went down with that ACL, a lot of our hearts just sank, and NFL people I know started wondering, is he still going to be a guy who gets drafted very, very high? What was that moment like for you, and did you immediately start thinking about how it would affect your NFL career?
Oh, man, it was special. It was special just to get that call and you know, hear the Rams say they were going to pick me with the number 10 pick. And for that, me being the first running back taken in 3 years, that meant a lot for me, and that changed instantly.
Were you surprised that it was Coach Fisher on the phone at that moment?
No, I wasn't. I had a talk with my agent, and I kind of had an idea, but I wasn't quite sure. I knew anything could happen, but I was happy though. I was real happy.
You're in a place where they've had some pretty good running backs come through.
Yeah.
Eric Dickerson, Jerome Bettis, Marshall Faulk, Steven Jackson. Does that mean something to you to be part of this Ram running back tradition now?
Yeah, it does. It definitely motivates you to be up there with the all-time greats and, give you something to aim for. And I'm pretty sure those guys are still close with the organization, so it's always good to pick those guys' brains and get advice from them.
When you found out that your ACL was torn, what was going through your mind in terms of how it would affect your future?
Well, I was already kind of going through a tough time with the suspension, so, when that actually happened and they told me, my ACL was torn, I just looked at it as another small bump in the road, for me to overcome. And, last year wasn't a great year for me, so, I'm looking for this year, to be one of the best years.
Did those thoughts go through your mind like, man, I might not get drafted, in the first round, it might make me drop?
To be honest, that's not even, on your mind. You just think about getting that surgery and just getting back to work and, letting God, handle everything else.
Well, Coach Fisher, he had a guy named Eddie George, and he liked to hand him the ball quite a bit. He had Chris Johnson. He was getting a lot of run. Are you ready to be that guy who, carries the ball a lot?
Yeah, yes, sir. I mean, of course, being at Georgia, we run the ball a lot, and I just feel like that's kind of a running back's responsibility. But I'm just going to come in here, work hard, and just do anything the team asks me to do.
So last couple of years, running backs have not gone in the first round, and we keep hearing about how the running back's time has kind of passed. You can find value later. Do you buy into that? Is the running back becoming not a star commodity anymore?
I mean, the league it does pass the ball a lot, but at the end of the day, when it comes playoff time, you see those teams that's winning them Super Bowls and going deep in the playoffs. They're definitely handing the ball off. So, I don't know. I'm just excited to be one of the first running backs taken in the last 3 years in the first round.
I'm watching you run on the screen as we talk, the highlights they're showing. And, do you like contact? Do you enjoy the physicality of the position?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, just being in sport. But sometimes you got to be smart and, avoid contact. But, you just get so caught up in the moment sometimes that you just want to take everything on. Can't do it all the time, but, you definitely like the contact for sure.
So even though you got 11 guys trying to stop you, you get caught up in the moment.
Yeah, you get caught up in the moment for sure. You definitely do.
So Coach Fisher, when you got to meet with him today, see the gleam in his eye, what was that moment like, and what did he tell you about, what he has in mind?
Oh, he was pumped up. He was like, man, I think I'm more excited than you. And I'm like, nah, you not, man. You not. But nah, he was definitely pumped up, man. He's a great person. I can definitely tell he's a player's coach. And, I'm just looking forward to working with him in the future.
You've never been to the city of St. Louis, so
no, I haven't.
Did you just go straight to the facility when you got in?
Yeah, straight here, straight to Rams Park, so,
Got any plans? Cardinals game, the Arch? What you going to check it out?
I mean, eventually I will. Eventually, I'm just ready to get back to work.
Right on. Well, we're all excited to see you when you do come back, and congratulations. And Lindsey, I'm sure you got a lot going on your end, but this guy's getting ready to tear it up.